Yo, what is happening, ladies and gentlemen? I really hope everyone is doing great on this fine day. It is game 2 of the NBA Finals today, Knicks and Spurs. If you guys didn't see last game, the New York Knicks beat the Spurs in the first game after being down 14 points, powered by Jalen Brunson just going off in that fourth quarter, despite having the 2 injuries with his knee and also with his ankle, because he was getting pretty upset about Scott Foster not calling much, but he managed and he was able to pull through it. Tonight, it is game 2, 8:30 p.m. Eastern time, and should be a great game. The Spurs did amazing last game, but unfortunately they couldn't sustain the lead. So let's discuss the keys for both teams in game 2. Let's do it, y'all.
Touch that tram, mama said pray then push. Pop said grind on wish. Coach said line up run. Whole life drawn up off that pitch. Court chalk on my socks. Bus pass in my sock too. Lunch card in my pocket. Pocket dreams that I walk through. Crossover on the clear lane. Try to cross over my fear same. Every brick that I threw up built the backbone of my name.
We run the floor. We run the floor. We don't back down. We don't back down. Every fall that we felt, put the strength in us now. Heads to the sky. Heads to the sky. Voices in one sound.
So starting off with the San Antonio Spurs, obviously utilizing Wemby is the biggest thing, but you got to realize Wemby has to go off. If Wemby doesn't go off, then there's a high chance that the Spurs aren't going to win. And we've seen that with the OKC Thunder series. Every time Wemby scored really low, they couldn't win games. Last game, Wemby had 26 points, 3 blocks. Not bad stats. He's been doing his thing. He also had 12 rebounds that game. But they need him to do more. Not the best shooting night, particularly for Wemby and also Brunson. They both didn't have great shooting nights from 3 at all. So when you don't have good shooting nights from 3, it really doesn't matter. So the shooting percentage was low in Wemby's favor. So he has to put up more shots, make more 3-pointers, and he'll be able to do that. Keep dominating inside, trying to get every block. And the defense was actually good for the Spurs, but they couldn't sustain the lead. And like I said before, especially in the OKC Thunder series, every time the Spurs had a lead, they always blew the lead. Like that one time when they were up 15-0, and Oklahoma City just came back after halftime. A lot of times when the Spurs have a lead, they can't sustain the lead. So that's a key for y'all. You utilize Wemby, and you also got to sustain your lead. If you don't sustain your lead, you got to be careful. Especially against a team like this. The Knicks have been down 22 points against the Cavaliers before. So being down 14 points is nothing to them. They know they can come back. They know their weapons. OG Anunoby had a great game. Everyone was shooting from 3. Now, yeah, Brunson didn't have the best 3-point night, like I said before. But you did have other guys who did have great shooting nights because they're just letting the ball fly. Another thing for the Spurs, Devin Vassell, he has to also show up offensively. Only 9 points in that game 1. Not the best stat line. He was doing everything he could on defense. Unfortunately, though, the offense was not in his favor. So Devin Vassell has to become a better offensive threat. And yes, Julian Champagnie, he did have himself a game along with Dylan Harper. He did his thing as well. Dylan Harper, yeah, he was supposed to be a liability, especially when you're a young kid playing in the NBA Finals already. But Dylan Harper, he did his thing. He did have 16 points, not the best stat line, but it is something to help the team out. Julian Champagnie, he also had a great game. He was hitting 3 after 3 after 3, but in that second half, the 3-pointers were nowhere to be found. Also, DeAaron Fox, I understand. I think you guys are going to be on me. He has an injury, I know. But at the same time, he still has to be explosive. And you can tell by the way he's going up and down the court. He's not as explosive as he was before. After that injury, he became less explosive. And we've seen the same thing with Donovan Mitchell. He has an injury as well, and he's not exploding off of his feet. So if you're De'Aaron Fox, you got to try to explode more off your feet. But it's tough to do it when you're doing it with injuries. But that's the keys for the San Antonio Spurs. So let's get into the New York Knicks. Now, the Knicks, the best thing to do is try not to be down so early in the half. Because you guys were up, and then all of a sudden the Spurs just went on a run, and they couldn't do nothing about it. So their run came very late. But you guys also got to make sure you guys are be able to come back. We know you guys are known for coming back this year. I think due to the 9-day rest, I felt like it was a 9-day trap. Because you come back rusty, and it takes you a while to get buckets and stuff like that. So yeah, the Knicks have been having a bunch of rest in this 2026 playoffs. And usually, I think looking back on it now, this is a rest trap. Because you're rusty coming back. But they were able to heat up and do what they can do. Powered by Jalen Brunson. So they all got to make sure, try not to be down so early. But it was the best thing because they were able to wear out San Antonio with them being down. And then they went on the run. And then they were able to get buckets. So that's the thing. Try not to be down so early. Number 2, Karl-Anthony Towns, keep playing amazing defense on Victor Wembanyama. What they're going to try to do is try to foul out Karl-Anthony Towns because he is doing a good job guarding Wemby, along with Mitchell Robinson. We'll get to him in a sec. But Cat is doing a great job with Wemby so far. Because Cat is just big. He's not as tall as Wemby, but he is big. He can force Wemby out. He can wear him out in the paint. He's forcing him to take shots a little further away from the paint. Now, even though he is 7'4", you still got to play that great defense on him. And Cat, he's been doing that. He's been doing an amazing job with that. Another thing, Mitchell Robinson, we also got to be careful with him. Because what I noticed last game, the Knicks were throwing him lobs and stuff like that. Like, yeah, the Knicks need to realize Mitchell Robinson is playing on 4 fingers. He can't give no one high fives. He has to do high 4s. But yet he's still playing in the NBA Finals. So you can't be throwing Mitch that many alley-oops when you have to realize he has to dunk it with 4 fingers. He's not a left-handed guy. He's a right-handed guy. The broken pinky's on his right hand. So you can't throw him that many lobs. Yeah, he is doing his thing on rebounds. And that's what we want him to do. But it's hard to throw him lobs because of his broken pinky. So you guys have to do less of that. Because out of all the lobs they threw him, only one of them went in and it looked crazy. You could tell. He was like 4 fingers like this. So you guys have to relax on the lobs of Mitchell Robinson. Because most likely, it's going to be a higher percentage. It's going to be a turnover. Higher percentage turnovers. So they got to relax on Mitch. But Mitch, he can still do his thing. He can still get the rebound. He can still do that. But the lobs, they got to relax with. Jalen Brunson, he did start off slow in that first half. So we also got to make sure that everyone on the team is dominating that first half. And also OG Anunoby, keep continuing hitting those threes. Keep continuing hitting those threes. Landry Shamet, he also did his thing with 13. He was also hitting threes. Even though he did miss some, he was still letting the ball fly. And that's all just confidence. He had the confidence in his teammate. And, you know, the Knicks didn't really face a good defensive team like this in a long time. So this has to fuel the fire in them. You got to realize, okay, we're playing up against a good team now. A good defensive team. So now we got to go out and get buckets. Like Mike Brown always said, and I'm going to say it too. Do not be complaining to the referees. Let the referees do their own thing. Yeah, a lot of times it did look like Jalen Brunson was hacked. And I stand on that too. Because Scott Foster wasn't calling a lot. But Mike Brown was like, no. Don't worry about the calls. Go worry about getting buckets. Because this is a good defensive team. Go worry about getting buckets and stop complaining. Because once they see you start complaining, that's when it gets to you mentally. So stop complaining. Go out and get buckets. Don't worry about the whistle. Finish up strong. That's all you got to do. Anyways, y'all, that's all the keys for the game today. And also, the Knicks, make sure you guys are still playing really good defense on everybody. Especially Julian Champagnie, because you don't know if he's going to be cooking. He could be cooking from 3 again tonight. We will see in that game. But make sure you guys understand your assignments. Whoever's on fire, go on and get them. Go on and get them. Get in their pockets. Play tough defense. And do what you can do to win the ball game. Anyways, y'all, that's the keys for game 2. I'll see you guys in game 3. Let's see who's going to win this game tonight. Comment down below who you guys have winning the NBA Finals and who you guys have winning this game. Anyways, y'all, that's all I got to say. God loves you. Jesus is king. Peace out, y'all.